Hey Soapy friends, thanks for popping in to Soap with me. Today we are going to do a Taiwan swirl. It is first of a series of videos I want to make for you that are all about horizontal cut soap. Now, by horizontal cut, I mean instead of cutting bars of soap, chop, 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 10 bars of soap out of our mold, we first slice the bar, or the full loaf rather, horizontally. We then get a wider face cut off of the top of our mold where design sits. So I call these a horizontal cut design. There's a mantra swirl, a Taiwan swirl, circular Taiwan, we'll do one of those too, and there's also another fluid pour that we'll look at that's also horizontal cut but in a slab mold. For the Taiwan swirl, you'll want to divide your mold into at least 3 sections. You can do more. We're going to do 3 based on what was voted for over in the group for the colors. We're going to do an indigo, a madder root, and an annatto seed. My dividers are some acrylic plates I just had cut to size from my local Ace Hardware store. The only reason why I did that is because there were a few times I wanted to make soap and I didn't have a piece of cardboard that fit. But for years, I just used cardboard, so feel free to do that. Or of course, you can purchase other divider sets online. And this is my coconut oil free recipe, so it's vegan, palm free, and coconut oil free. Great for those with allergies. All right, let's go ahead and get some of the butters melted, our oils poured, things split, and make some soap. So I have the majority of my oils in here. Here's the butters. I'm just going to add those into it. We'll give all this a bit of a stir with the stick blender to finish melting some of that cocoa butter. It's a little bit harder in there. I'm just going to go ahead and measure out some indigo decoction. I'm probably going to start with about 10 grams and we'll go from there. And we can go ahead and set up a slurry with our madder root. Remember, I'm splitting this batch up, so we have some small amounts as just a gram of madder root. And then for our annatto seed, we need a portion of our oil. For these, I'm doing a 20% infused. Based on my math, that means I need 74 grams. Since I need the same amount of oil in each of my splits, I'm going to pour the same amount of uninfused olive oil into my other containers. And again, if you have problems or are scared of math and splitting one batch into multiple colors is confusing to you, go ahead and grab the multicolor batch splitting tutorial over on the website. I'll link it down below for you as well. All right, let's measure off our sodium hydroxide and additional water. Since this is my coconut oil free recipe, I do use a higher water to sodium hydroxide ratio just to help speed the trace up and ensure I get a good gel. I talk more about that over on a couple articles on the website and in the lesson, of course. This is just my master batch lye solution and then some additional water. And we're soaping essentially at about a 2-to-1 water to lye ratio. Add the essential oils in. I did a blend of lemongrass and sage for this one. I wasn't sure what to do with it. I did want to scent it, but I didn't necessarily have a scent inspiration based on the colors we picked. So I just looked at my shelves and grabbed what looked interesting, and it does smell quite nice. Just some lemongrass and sage. I do like sage essential oil because it's pretty strong, long-lasting. A little bit goes a long way and it survives the saponification. Let's go ahead and add our sodium hydroxide. It's starting to get a little cloudy on top because I added that water, so I'm just giving it a quick little stir to make sure everything's nicely incorporated and no surprises once everything hits the oils. Since I'm splitting this off, I just want an emulsion here. And since there's no coconut oil, that emulsion's even an emulsion will take a while to get to. So lots of time to work. That's one reason why I really love this recipe for swirls, especially if you're new to swirling and you need some practice understanding your trace. Now I do want to try and have more even pours or a split of a batter, which is why I'm going to actually measure these off. And again, I just did the math beforehand And there is a worksheet in the multicolored batch splitting tutorial for you. All right, at this point, our Annatto is essentially done. It's colored, it's scented. We have an emulsion. We will bring this up to more of a trace at the end if we need to, but let's get our other colors mixed. I'm going to do the madder root first because indigo can accelerate trace, and I'm actually going to pour some batter into here. Less chances of any potential clumps by doing that. We'll give this a stir. Oh, lovely. Now, as I always say with madder root, if you want to ensure there's no speckles, you can make a decoction or a strong tea and strain the botanical off. I have no problem with the speckles, and I rather enjoy them. I think it adds a little natural characteristic to our soaps. And the indigo might end up doubling that up, but let's look and see what this looks like. No, I think I'm actually going to be okay with that. This decoction came out pretty standard, so I think that'll give us a nice baby blue. Lovely. Now, the big decision is which color to mix with which, because without cleaning off my stick blender in between too much. I think I'm going to get the madder root. I'm going to blend that one up first. Definitely going to do the indigo last because it's very possible I will have a thicker trace just by letting it sit. I think this is going to be a lovely shade of pink with our lovely orange. Let's get this emulsified back up and brought to a trace. Scrape this down a bit, get a little bit less orange mixed in with my indigo. So I'm at a thin to medium trace on each of these. Closer to thin than medium. You can go with a thicker trace on this, and that will do a couple things, which is to make it a little less likely that some of your colors seep through and leak out the bottom of the dividers. And it also can prevent or can create a more crisp, clear line distinction. But I'm going to go ahead and go with this thin to medium. I think it'll be quite nice. And I think I'm going to go red, orange, blue. So I'm going to put my orange down the middle, and I'm just going to pour down one side. And I'll want to get about the same amount height-wise into each channel each time I pour. That just helps keep the dividers from moving around and helps keep one from leaking into another. And this is actually filling up just lovely. Let me scooch over a bit so you can see into there a little bit more. There you go. I could probably be pouring a little bit faster. Oh, did you see that one start to move? So let's push it back over. The inevitable spill there. That's all right. All right, now I'm just going to lift the dividers straight up. My soap level will sink a bit because some of the volume of the mold was taken up by the dividers. And I'm just going to top it back up with the last remaining bit. And I'm just going to keep this poured right close to the tops. Not right onto the top. I want it to go down a little bit, but not so much that it breaks through what's going on underneath there. Let's put a little bit of that glue back on there. I do end up, as you'll see when we cut this, cutting off the tops. So I'm really just using this as an opportunity to make sure I have enough top to slice off. The next thing I'm going to use is my handy dandy chopstick. Now you can use skewers, you can use anything you want to shove down and mix around. Sometimes I consider using this end of the chopstick because it's more uniform in shape. Here it gets to a point, so the skewer down, technically the skewer down at the bottom of the mold is thinner than the one at the top. And maybe we will go ahead and put this one in like this. But Anything too thick, you don't get a really nice definition. Anything too thin, again, you don't get a nice definition. So chopsticks are perfect. And what you want to do is we're going to push all the way down to the bottom of the mold because we want to swirl like this. And then we're just going to do S's. We're going to go up, over, down, over, up, over, down, over, up, over, down, over, up, over, down, over. So just making this S or snake pattern like that. And the trick is we kind of want to keep them close together so that we get more of them. So we're just going to go for it. We're going to go down and we're going to go up, over, down, over, up, over, down, over. Make little S's. If we were at a thicker trace, we would have a stronger drag and more clear definition, but I really do like this wispy look. And now that I'm doing this, this is going to very much look like a campfire. Oh, it's going to be beautiful. All right, now you can leave it as is, but I'm going to do one more thing. I'm going to go down each side, and I'm going to go in the same direction. Typically, since I ended here, I would drag back this way, but since these were starting to look like flames and fire, I decided I want to drag this way. So I'm going to do the same thing and drag this way. And I get these really fun stripes. So when we do our circling Taiwan, I'll go ahead and pour that at a thicker trace for us, but I cannot wait to cut this one. I am very excited about this. Here we are next day. Super, can't wait to cut this. This is just going to be beautiful. Now, our colors still have to bloom, so I'll be back in another day or two with the final color reveal. But I think we'll have a lovely light pink, and our blue should bloom up just lovely. I might do a little bit of gel after this to kind of pop some of that blue up, but we're gonna see what it looks like when we cut it. Here's the bottom where you can see all of our little peaks and points from the swirl we did. So as I said, these are a horizontal cut, and the first part is we need to slice like this to cut it into 2 loaves. Otherwise, if we just cut our 1-inch bars, we'd lose a lot of the swirl top. So we're going to cut the face of our bars wide. I have this set to 1/2 inch because the height of this is just over 3 inches. So I'll cut it in half. And this set up nice and firm even with my high water content because of the butters I used, which is why we can cut it so soon for such a high water content. Oh, looky there. We got a bit of a partial gel. I'll show you how to fix that too. But look at those colors. Beautiful. Here's our first. Let's do our next. And this is what I was saying by this top is going to get scraped off. Now, you don't have to do that, but I like to because what's revealed under there is always has a clearer swirl pattern in it than the very top does. And then next, we just need to cut into the bars. This mold is just about 10¼ inches from end to end. So I usually just shave off these edges here and then cut 2-inch bars. Yeah, I'll definitely fix that gel. Oh, so pretty. Look at those great colors. So here you can see our partial gel where we're getting our lovely pinks. Our blues are really bluing up, but look at the edges here. It's still very faint. And in this one, we're not getting those rich defined colors. So to correct that, we are simply going to C-pop after the cut. And since I don't have an oven in the soap room, we're going to use some heating pads to C-pop. I just pop one underneath, another tray on top, and a heating pad on top. I'll leave them in here, plugged in for about an hour, and give them a look, or just let them sit until tomorrow morning. Let's just unwrap this little guy. I did take a peek last night, and they looked great. That's when I turned it off and just let it cool down. And here we go. Look at that. Got some great colors popping out here, and that partial gel has been resolved. Beautiful. Very happy with these. So that's a super simple solution to dealing with a partial gel. You can C-pop after the cut if needed. And here's our final soaps, all cut and beveled in all of their glorious beauty. If you'd like more help with your soap making, including access to all of my formulations, recipes, and oh so much more, hop over to the website soapyfriends.com and check out the Best Friends Club. You can also purchase all tutorials individually. Happy soaping!